Hello dear students, let us continue the atom chapter. So in this class, let us study Bohr's model of the hydrogen atom. So that is the postulates of Bohr's atom model. So before studying the postulates, so let us have the brief revision of the last class, whatever we studied. So in my last class, we studied about atomic spectra. So in that we have two types of spectrum. So first one is line emission spectrum, also line absorption spectrum. So we discussed the definition for these two. So also we studied the spectral series. So in the spectral series we have the different spectral series, the Lyman series. So it is observed in the ultraviolet region. So we have the Rydberg equation to find the wavelength for the Lyman series in the ultraviolet region. So 1 by lambda is equal to r times of 1 divided by 1 square minus 1 divided by n square. You have the general formula 1 by lambda is equal to r times of 1 divided by n1 square minus 1 divided by n2 square. So n1 is 1, n2 runs from 2, 3 and so on. Similarly, Balmer series, it is observed in the visible region. So here n1 is equal to 2 and n2 is equal to 3, 4 and so on. Similarly, we have Paschen, Brackett and Fern series. They are observed in the infrared region. So you have the n1 and n2 values in the slide. So go through the slide, you will get the idea how we can determine the wavelength ranges for a different spectral series for hydrogen. So this is what we studied in my last class. So in this class, we will study the postulates of Bohr's atom model. So Bohr's atom model overcomes the drawbacks of Rutherford model. So in Rutherford atom model, so he explained the concept as, so the atom consists of a small positively charged core called as a nucleus, where whole mass of the atom is supposed to be concentrated. So this is what given by the Rutherford. So in the Bohr's model, what happens in his first postulate, he explains about, so this is what the Bohr's picture. So he was a Danish physicist who explained the spectrum of hydrogen atom based on quantum ideas. Also he gave a theory of nuclear fission based on the liquid drop model of nucleus. Also contributed to the clarification of conceptual problems in quantum mechanics in a particular way by proposing the complementary principle. So let us study the first postulate of Bohr. According to Bohr, an electron revolves around the nucleus with a fixed definite energy in a fixed path known as a stationary state. So that too without gaining or losing the energy. So suppose you have the nucleus. So around this the electrons are revolving in a fixed orbit. So now this electron is revolving around the nucleus without any emission of the energy. So it won't emit any energy during its revolution around the nucleus. So this postulate is said to be the first postulate of Bohr. So secondly, we have the second postulate of Bohr. So in the second postulate, what happens? So it will give the definition for the stable orbits, whatever we studied in the first postulate. So the second postulate of Bohr is, so it explains the angular momentum of the electrons. Bohr's postulate of quantization of angular momentum states that electrons can revolve only in those energy levels in which its angular momentum is an integral multiple of h divided by 2 pi. So that is, you have the equation L is equal to nh divided by 2 pi. So L is equal to nh divided by 2 pi. So L is said to be the angular momentum of the electron. N is said to be the allowed energy states of the electron. So like N is equal to, we can take 1, 2, 3 and so on. H is the Planck's constant. So here what happens, if I consider this for a nth orbit of electron, so I can expand this as L is equal to m for the nth orbit. Angular momentum is given by mvr. So for the nth orbit, that is equal to nh divided by 2 pi. So where r is the radius of the electron and v is the velocity of the electron. So this equation is said to be Bohr's quantization condition for angular momentum. The electron can revolve only in those energy levels in which its angular momentum is said to be is an integral multiple of h divided by 2 pi. So L is equal to nh divided by 2 pi. So this is called the Bohr's second postulate of hydrogen atom. So let us study the third postulate. So Bohr's postulate of early quantum concepts states that an electron jump from higher energy level to lower energy level, radiating energy in the form of a photon. So during its transition, what happens? The electron, it will emit some energy in the form of what? Photon. So the photon energy is given by E equal to h nu. So that is the energy difference between the two energy levels. So that is Ei minus Ef, with the condition Ei is greater than Ef. So here you have the nucleus. So these are the energy levels, the orbits of the electron. So now here we can take n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3. So when the electron makes a transition from this energy level to this energy level, that is from n equal to 3 to n equal to 1. So during this transition, what happens? So the energy is emitted. So that is emitted in the form of a photon. So the photon is emitted. So with the energy E is equal to h nu. E is equal to h nu. So h is the Planck's constant and mu is the frequency of the emitted radiation. So we can write h nu is equal to, it is the energy difference between the two energy levels, that is Ei minus Ef. So this is called the third postulate of Bohr's atom model. So mu is the frequency of the emitted radiation and h is the Planck's constant. Ei and Ef are the energies of initial and final levels of the electron. Thank you.